Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has recently taken significant steps to bolster his nation's defense capabilities, signing a decree focused on intensive training for the use of Western military equipment. This initiative is designed not only to fortify crucial Ukrainian cities like Odessa against potential aggressions, but also to prepare Ukrainian forces to defend allied states, specifically mentioning the UK and Turkey. The underlying motivation, as suggested by some analysis, was a calculated move by Zelensky and NATO to underscore the urgent need for more substantial aid and financial support from the United States, particularly to President Donald Trump, and to demonstrate Russia's vulnerability to strike deep within its own territory. This strategy aimed to influence the perception of the conflict's dynamic and the effectiveness of continued Western assistance. The provocative nature of such actions, whether intended or not, has certainly kept the international spotlight firmly on the ongoing hostilities. President Donald Trump, in response to the escalating tensions, offered a nuanced and cautious stance regarding NATO's engagement with Russia. He stated that NATO countries possess the autonomy to defend their airspace by shooting down Russian fighter jets that violate their boundaries. However, Trump coupled this freedom with a stark warning. Any nations taking such action must be fully prepared for the ensuing repercussions, emphasizing that U.S. intervention would not be automatic but rather contingent on the specific circumstance of each incident. This declaration underscored a more conditional approach to collective defense, prompting allies to carefully weigh the potential consequences of their actions. Trump's assessment also highlighted a growing concern that the conflict is far from over, suggesting that it might be a prolonged engagement designed by Russia to gradually weaken the alliance. He articulated a belief that Europe holds the key to restoring Ukraine's territorial integrity, including Crimea, and returning its border to the 1991 status, thereby challenging the current geopolitical landscape. In a notable shift, President Trump has now expressed an openness to facilitate the sale of any necessary weaponry to NATO countries for onward transfer to Ukraine, explicitly stating his desire for Ukraine to achieve victory in the war. This marks a significant evolution in his position, moving towards a more proactive role in arming Ukraine's allies. However, the United States has also communicated that it will not provide security guarantees to the European Union or NATO until the conflict has concluded, signaling a temporary pause in further security commitments until a resolution is reached. Following a crucial meeting, President Zelensky conveyed his immense satisfaction, noting his belief that Donald Trump now places greater trust in him than in Russian President Vladimir Putin. Zelensky characterized Trump as the sole individual capable of radically altering the conflict's trajectory, someone who can halt the war and bring Russia back to the negotiating table. He also accused Putin of disseminating false information regarding Ukraine's movement and progress on the battlefield, labeling their recent discussion as the most meaningful meeting he had experienced with Trump. During their dialogue, Trump reportedly reaffirmed his strong support for Ukraine's struggle, dismissing the prospect of further peace talks with Russia. He asserted that Ukraine is capable of reclaiming all its territory and emphasized the importance of NATO's unity. Furthermore, Trump urged NATO member states to cease purchasing Russian oil, arguing that such transactions inadvertently fund Russia's war effort, a stance that brought to light a perceived inconsistency given reports of his own administration's continued acquisition of uranium from Russia. Trump commended Ukraine's resilience, drew attention to the fragilities within Russia's economy, and advocated for decisive measures against countries aiding Moscow, including a call for more persuasive diplomacy with Hungary. The leaders collectively reiterate their steadfast commitment to upholding Ukrainian sovereignty and advancing the conflict toward a just and equitable resolution, signaling a shared vision for the path forward amidst the ongoing geopolitical complexity. If you have made it this far, congratulations. You have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a question. Given President Trump's evolving stance, moving from a cautious approach to now being open to selling weapons to NATO for Ukraine, and Zelensky's belief that Trump is the only person that can radically change everything, what do you believe is the most significant factor influencing Trump's current position? And how might this change ultimately impact the duration and outcome of the Russian-Ukraine war? During the debate, we want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your analysis and opinion in the comments below. Like the video, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.